Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors card review video. In this video, I'll be looking at one of the new black gold cards, Absolute Authoritarian Baal. Because of all the leader skills and team skills and active skills, this video will take a little bit longer than usual, so buckle up and have patience with me. So let's take a look at the leader skill first. First effect, attack of the monsters attribute times 6, HP and recovery times 1.8. For every wave passed, team attack increases additionally to the max of 3 times. Every time a group of 4 or more runes is dissolved in a column, team attack increases by 1.2 additionally to the max, increasing team attack for 4 times. So let's unpack this real quick. For the first effect, HP and recovery times 1.8 is pretty standard, but attack of the monsters attribute times 6 allows this card to be a leader for non-demon teams as well. We'll cover the team skills later, but we'll see how this card benefits demon teams better. But based on this effect and this writing, you can already see that this card can also support other dark members as well. So for example, you could do dark gods, dark elves, dark humans, dark etc. And the dark attribute already has a lot of support and a lot of good cards, so that means that the pool for this card is already pretty good. For the second effect, for every wave passed, the team attack increases additionally. This means that every time you beat a battle, every wave, your team will get stronger, and the max is 3 times. However, we don't know exactly how much it's increasing for every wave. It could be that the attack increases by 0.5 every turn, which means that it will get to times 3 in 6 battles. Or it could be that increases 1 extra multiplier every round, which means that it will take 3 rounds to reach max multiplier. That being said, we don't know yet, but depending on how quick or how short this effect takes to reach max multiplier, it means that the damage increase effect might be not as good, because if it takes 6 rounds to reach max multiplier and the battle only has 6 rounds, then that means you're not benefiting that much from this multiplier at all. So we'll have to see how much it increases per round, and then that way we know if this multiplier will be good. That being said, if your team attack increases every round, it's always a good thing. You get stronger every time you beat an enemy. For the third effect, every time a group of 4 or more runes is dissolved in a column, team attack times 1.2 additionally, to the max, increasing team attack for 4 times. What this tells me is that you can stack this effect 4 times if you dissolve 4 or more runes in 4 different columns. And for each column that you dissolve, you get a 1.2 team attack boost. And if you get 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2, you roughly get about a times 2 attack multiplier. Which means that just by itself, just as a leader, the max multiplier that you can get is 6 times 3 times 2, which gives you a max multiplier of 36. And if you have dual leaders, you get 36 times 36, which I cannot do the math right now in my head, but it's pretty good for a current meta card. And this is not counting the team skills that we'll look at later. So let's look at the team skills. There are a lot of team skills for this card, so this is also going to take quite a bit. So here we have the team skills. If the leader and ally are Baal, both the three black gold cards will synchronize their attack. So Eve, Laplace, and Baal will synchronize with the demon member that has the highest attack, whether it's either of them or another demon card that you have in your team. For 2, upon the completion of moving runestones in each round, tap a rune to explode the column and row of that rune and generate the selected demon runestones. This is a little bit confusing, but basically here, let me pull up a random board here. The effect means that, for example, if I select this light demon rune here, and I tap it, it will explode this column and this row to generate light runes, light demon runes. If I select this one, it will explode this one and this row and this column and generate water runes. And if I explode this one, it will generate demon runes by exploding, or dark demon runes by exploding this row and this column right here. In my opinion, this is a really good effect. It will help you get rid of debuffs on the board if you have trouble removing them. So for example, electrify runes, weather runes, or other like, I don't know, blast runes, muck runes, log runes, frozen runes maybe. And it will allow you to generate attacking runes, or runes that you would want in your board. Something that I've noticed is that this card doesn't have runestone possession effect. So that means that generally you want to explode runes of your own attribute in order to generate attacking runes. Since from the leader skill and the team skills you don't have rune possession effects. So normally you will be wanting to generate your own attribute runes by tapping on the screen. That way you can generate attacking runes for the next round and you don't suffer from rune drought. A downside for this effect is that if you have both rune or board debuffs like electrify runes and also lack attacking runes, then that means you have to choose either or. You either remove the electrify runes or you generate your attacking runes. So here you have a choice whether you want to generate attacking runes or get rid of the debuff. That being said, this card is very tanky, so if you generate attacking runes and leave the electrify runes to be, then that's totally fine. But that's up to you. Third effect, by dissolving 5 or more water, fire, or earth runes, demon attack times 1.5, and the damage will be dealt regardless of puzzle shield. Having an inbuilt puzzle shield breaker is great. Nothing more to say, it's very useful. Fourth effect, by dissolving 5 light, dark, or heart runes, demon attack times 1.5, and damage will be dealt regardless of fixed combo shield, which is also really good. That it's inbuilt, you can always use that slot for another utility card instead of bringing a fixed combo shield breaker. Also, I don't think demons have a fixed combo shield breaker, so it's going to be good to have. 5, damage received minus 25%, and damage reflected from enemies minus 85%. This means that you're already increasing your HP by 1.8, which means that you'll have a lot of HP, and by reducing the damage received, that's also going to increase your tankiness. Now let's see the next other team skills. So here, if the leader is Baal and there are 6 demons in the teams, the attribute of all members will be changed to that of the second member from the left. Honestly, this skill, I really like this team skill, and I think it's going to be what makes Baal really powerful. Because just by switching the slot of the member on the second member from the left, you can change the attribute of your entire team. So for example, if you have an enemy that's weak to earth, or you encounter one of those enemies that do not let certain attributes go through, or for example those that say non-earth attack minus 100%, which means that you can only use earth attacks, you can still use Baal, put an earth member on that slot, and now your entire team is an earth team, and now you will be launching earth attacks. So based on the stage, you can tailor your team attribute to be more effective against the stage. And even then, you can also look at the boss and always choose a counter attribute so that you get the attribute advantage against the boss stage. So honestly, I think this one is really good, and it's one of the reasons why you only want to run demon team with Baal. There's other reasons that we'll cover now. For each demon present in the team, you acquire a protective shield of 10,000 damage, which means that you have damage reduction and you have HP increase, and now you have a 10,000 protective shield per demon. So if you're running leader and ally, you have 20,000 already, and for every extra demon you get 10,000 more, which means that you are going to be able to tank a lot of damage, especially because the damage received also the damage reduction also helps you save on this protective shield. Additionally, if the team is mono demon, you require the protective shield will increase from 60,000 to 66,666, just to follow the theme of the 666 demon. This is a 6,666 damage increase, which means that you would get more protective shield if you run a mono demon team. So from this effect and the previous effect, you will definitely be wanting to run a mono demon team. And demons are pretty good. They have high attacks, so having a mono demon team is not bad. And having a mono demon team that can change attribute is also really good. Keep in mind that this will not satisfy conditions as like achievements for ultimate stage battles. You will not be able to fulfill a mono fire achievement by running a fire member on the second from the left slot, since those achievements check your team before you enter the stage, and it's regardless of team skills. So that's the only downside, but overall I think this card will be able to break a lot of stages and get rid of a lot of annoying stages and beat a lot of stages. For the last skill, you will need Baal and Laplace in your team. You extend your runestone movement time by 2 seconds regardlessly, and the attack basic value of Laplace is increased by 1000. The good thing about this is that it increases Laplace's attack by 1000, which means that it will most likely be your highest attacking demon, and that will synchronize Baal, Eve's, and Laplace's attack to that attack. But Laplace is another black gold card, so it's a very non-free-to-play friendly team skill, because that means you have to have both Laplace and Baal in order to trigger this team skill. So if you don't have both, then you can just forget about this team skill. But overall, Baal's team skills and leader skill are pretty good in my opinion, and it will help break a lot of stages. On the only downsides is that you don't have a time extension inbuilt in this. A lot of the meta teams right now have increased movement time in their leader skills and team skills. Baal doesn't have that unless you have Laplace, which, let's face it, for a lot of players this might not be the case. And the other thing that's unfortunate about his leader skill and team skill is that there is no runestone possession effect. So you might be running out of attacking runes if you get unlucky. However, even if you get unlucky, you should be able to tank the enemy's attack with all the HP that you have and damage reduction as well as a protective shield. Hey, so now let's head over to the active skill. The 666, the demon, it's a CD7 skill, and for 1 round your monster's attack increases to 6066. This will not trigger the team effect where it synchronizes the highest attack, because the effects of active skills are not counted. You will deal 66.66 million attributed damage to all enemies regardless of defense, enchanted shield, and initial shield. And okay, so for 1 round, attack increases. 3, the damage of Baal will be dealt regardless of attribute combo nullifying and combo shield. And if the leader is Baal, refresh the protective shield. So basically you activate this and now you have a full protective shield again. So think about the EVA pilots and how their active skills can refresh their AT field. And if you play with EVA pilots, you know how useful having a protective shield is. So being able to refresh your shield is going to be very useful. For the third effect, the way I read it is attribute, combo, nullifying, and combo shield. It makes me think it helps you break the shield that say when a fire combo is when a fire or what's it called? When a fire combo is made, nullify attacks of your team and recover HP based on summoners or attack. So I think what this skill does is that it will bypass this shield. So even if you make an initial batch combo of this attribute, that means you will still be able to damage the enemy. And also break combo shields like 7+ combo shields. And I'm guessing fixed combo shields, but that's also already inbuilt in his team skills, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think this one will help you break the when a fire combo is made, nullify attack of your team and damage will be nullified. Basically, I think this will be able to break those shields, and because your monster attack is increasing to 6066, it should be able to break it should be able to one-shot the enemy because your attack is increasing a lot. That being said, it also says damage of Absolute Authoritarian Baal will be dealt, which means that if you have more than one copy, they will also be able to break those shields. So leader and ally will be able to deal damage, as well as if you have any other Baals in your team. That being said, if you have more than one Baal in your team, that means you got really lucky or you spent a lot of money getting more than one copy. Then for the first effect, I think this is a really good snipe. You're already dealing 66.66 million non-attribute damage to all enemies. And the highest snipe that we've had in the game so far is Ray from the EVA Pilot series. And her damage is only 50 million. So actually, I think I can show you that right here. Excuse me, where's the... Yeah, so here you can see deal 50 million night damage to all enemies. And the other card that can also directly snipe is Megumin, and she only deals 10 million damage at her max damage. And the difference with these two cards is that they already have a pretty steep cost. Megumin will go into a death state for 2 rounds, and Rei will also lock her own attack and active skill for 3 rounds once you activate this snipe. Here Baal is just activating a 66 million damage snipe without any downsides, so this snipe is going to be really good as well. But yeah, overall I think this card is very powerful and it's going to be really good. It has access to the entire dark pool as well as the entire demon pool. That being said, you definitely want to run it as a demon card or a mono demon leader. And if you're running a mono demon leader, the cards that I would suggest are Meliodas. You can also add Samle, because Samle gives you an extra HP boost if you're running a mono demon team. Definitely run Laplace if you have him for the extended room movement time. Eve, maybe. I have thoughts about Eve, which might or might not influence me getting her or not. Like the black gold Eve, I mean, not the regular Eve. And maybe Hiei. You can also add the new combination cards. They're all demons, the Minds of the Fray, because they can change enemies' attribute as well as restore the cracked rune positions if you encounter that. This card also doesn't have a increasing combo effect, but that shouldn't be too hard since you are able to create your own attacking runes every round. The only downside that I can see this team facing is the rune disabling. So whenever you cannot dissolve a specific type of runes. So if that rune happens to be your only attacking runes, because you don't have rune possession effect, that basically will mean that you are locked out of attacking runes and you will have to rely on other active skills to act as attacking runes. That's the that's the only downside I can see with this card. But overall, I think this is a really powerful black gold card, and I will definitely draw for Baal just because it seems really powerful and it has a lot of flexibility to build, and it seems like it would be a lot of fun to build around this team. So I definitely going to spend my diamonds and getting this card. Hopefully I get lucky and get one more than one copy, but even if I only get the 40 draw guarantee one, I will be happy. So yeah, I think that's all I had for this card. Please let me know in the comment section below if I missed anything or if I said anything wrong. And as always, please stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower of Saviors content. I will be doing an Eve review after this one, so stay tuned for that as well. So for now, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone!